Let's talk about how to talk about money with your parents when you are the first to be building wealth. This is a big topic that comes up for our community and for our immigrant finance school students. It's often one of the things that people struggle with the most in the day-to-day when they're in the wealth building journey. Because if you're the first in your family to start investing, start building wealth, start getting out of trading time for money, that often means you are breaking generational cycles of not doing that, of whether it is staying in survival mode or poverty or just that trading time for money, having to work, your whole life to get by. And so this is a big, big generational shift that you're doing as a first-time immigrant wealth builder. And this video is meant to give you a few tips to get started on that. I'm going to go over a script you can even try. And then if you want more guidance on this, we have a whole lesson on it in the Immigrant Finance School program. And it's often something that we're doing coaching on because people often struggle with this a lot. So, big picture, what I want to say is what I have seen work the best for our students and our community members is to just really own and step into that role as being the financial leader in your family. And that's a big, big role to take on. But if you can really claim it and like have it be a choice, it can be very empowering because you are changing the direction of your family's legacy of all future generations by becoming the first to invest and build wealth. And it makes sense that that transition might have some tensions or rocky moments that can be overwhelming or difficult to navigate with the people that you love because you're changing that direction of the family going forward and your legacy. And so this is why it can feel so hard. Also, if you have been, conditioned and told things about money by your family that they were taught by their family members or society, right? It's not anyone's fault, that keep you in a poverty mindset. That can be really hard to break and also to navigate in these conversations because they're often playing out in the background. I'm talking about things like those sayings, money doesn't grow on trees and just be grateful for what you have, things like that that like keep you small when you actually can have more and deserve to have more no matter your immigration status or background. And let me just pause and say, by the way, if you're new to our community, thank you for listening to this video. My name is Adina. I am the co-founder and CEO of Immigrant Finance. I am an immigration attorney and accredited financial counselor, and I specialize in helping immigrants with investing and wealth building. And that includes this topic, right? It comes up a lot, like I said. So here's a script that you can practice to get started when you're trying to set a boundary with a family member in a loving way when it comes to money. Like, let's say, you have family members back home in your home country who are expecting you to send a certain amount of money every month that's more than you can really do or is conflicting with your own financial goals, like starting to invest or prepare for the future, right? Or maybe it's family here that is expecting you to help pay for certain expenses, pay for their rent, or be able to, maybe you're the first one who went to college and has become a professional, and so they just assume that you have all this money when maybe you don't necessarily because you're giving a lot to family members and you're having to pay down student loan debt and you're trying to invest for retirement so that you're not poor when you're older, right? Um, these are kind of the scenarios where you might need to set a boundary like this. And so here's a script you can try, whatever the topic is. And the main thing is come at it with love, right? Loving boundaries are a good thing because that is meant to allow you to keep helping that person in a way that's going to be sustainable for you. So you can say, like, listen, I really need to talk to you about something that's has been weighing on me, and I and want you to know that I've been taking steps to learn about finances and managing money so that I can support, my and our family's long-term goals and help us have a better future. And I still really want to be able to help and support you, and that's a value for me. but I also need to be thinking about the future and making sure I'm able to keep doing that, right? To make sure I'm able to keep sustainably having the resources to continue supporting you all these years. And what that looks like for me means that I have to think about, my long-term stability and investing for that or whatever it is your goal is. And so, do you think we can talk about a plan that might work for both of us, where I can keep supporting you, but I can also make sure I'm going to be stable in the future, right? Can we talk about what that looks like? So that's how we can kind of open that conversation and hopefully have a conversation about like what that actually means in numbers. Like if you need to be able to support yourself in retirement or support your healthcare or whatever, and it's going to cost this much per year. And in order to reach that goal, you're going to have to start investing now X amount per month, right? Breaking that down for them and talking to them about, okay, this is the total money, total income I have per month. This is the amount I really have to dedicate to the future to make sure I can continue to be financially strong and support you. This is what I have to cover for expenses, right? Here's what's left over. Here's what I'm able to continue sharing with you, right? And the idea of the boundary is you're communicating that it might be less than what you're currently doing, but there's a reason for that, and it's coming from a place of love and from long-term planning, and that's for everybody's well-being. So that's kind of just one example script you can give a try. We do have a blog post on this topic that we'll link below that goes into a few more scripts you can try for different areas in this. For example, if you're trying to introduce a new financial idea, if you have a family member who expects you to know all the answers for finances, when you're starting to feel guilt, there are different scripts in that blog post that you can check out to support you with it. So I hope this is a helpful start. And just remember that if you're feeling guilt, if you're feeling like this is a really heavy topic for you, that's just shows how much you care and love your family, and that you're also caring about yourself and your own sustainability. And that's a good thing, right? That's going to allow you to continue to be able to be strong financially so you can support yourself and your family going forward. And just remember, it's not your responsibility to carry that weight for everyone, right? Your role is really, as the financial leader in your family, is to light the path, to show people what else is possible, to you can share what you're learning, you can help them open their investment accounts too, right? Help them get in a better position financially so they can be more self-sustainable, right? And rely on themselves as well as you in the future. And that often looks like for our students, like helping their parents open an investment account for retirement so that their hard-earned savings can start growing and they have a little nest egg they can rely on in retirement. It's not 100% on the child, right? On to be able to care for them in retirement. So there's a lot that can be done with really thoughtful um, communication on this topic that we're here to support you with, and we want to know how is this topic coming up for you. Let us know. Send us a message on Instagram at immigrant.finance or Facebook immigrant finance, and hang in there. It's a big topic. If you could use some support and coaching on this, this is exactly what Immigrant Finance School is for. We're able to go really deep with you and build out your whole financial plan and support you as you communicate that to your family and get everybody on the same page. It is so worth the time, energy, and effort because it takes off that stress and burden that would otherwise be there for decades. And hopefully also allows you and your family members to be in a much better position in the future. That's the whole point of financial planning, right? Okay, let us know what you think of this video, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.